It is match day, Tio. Real Madrid versus Espanyol tonight. And somehow, the thing that has completely taken over the comments is not the game. It's fans asking whether FC Barcelona is, and I quote, the greatest criminal organization in the history of sport.
I mean, the timing is something. Hours before a La Liga match that Madrid absolutely need to win, and the fanbase is deep in a criminal conspiracy debate about their biggest rivals. Peak Madridismo, honestly.
And look, we've spent the last week and a half covering the corruption rage, the referee stuff, the CTA, La Liga being rigged, but today it's moved to a whole different level. Fans are dragging Barcelona, Piqué, Negreira, all of it, back to the surface. One comment straight up says, with Negreira it all started, with Barça it all gets corrupted. The anger is not cooling down.
What's interesting is the framing has shifted slightly. Before it was, the referees are against us. Now it's more like, the entire institutional rot starts with Barcelona and spreads outward. It's a bigger, more sweeping accusation. Fans are connecting dots, Negreira, the federation, the CTA, into one unified theory of corruption.
And Piqué, madre mia, they cannot let Piqué go. Piqué crying again, what a shameless man. That's basically the energy in the comments. He's become the human symbol of everything fans think is broken about Spanish football.
He lives rent-free in the Madrid fan base's head, and at this point, I think he's taken out a long-term lease. But here's what I find genuinely interesting. This corruption narrative has now been running for 10 days straight in our comments? It's not going away because fans feel there's been no accountability. No one's been held responsible. So the anger just keeps compounding.
Exactly. And then there's the La Liga angle that's feeding right into it. One fan saying it's impossible to give a guard of honor to a team that had the league gifted to them. The Pasillo debate. Some fans are saying they're getting closer to giving one. Others are saying absolutely not while the CTA situation exists.
That Pasillo debate is actually fascinating as a cultural moment. For Madrid fans, giving a guard of honor to Barcelona would feel like an endorsement of the whole system. One comment literally said, "You give a guard of honor to a team when the statistics don't show that the second-place team was blatantly disadvantaged by the CTA." That's a very specific, very pointed statement.
And another fan straight up says, the corrupt La Liga already has its champion chosen. That's why Spanish football is worthless. Vaya, that's where we are, on match day, with a game to play tonight.
Right, but I think that's the honest emotional state of the fan base. They're going to watch tonight, they want Madrid to win, but there's this underlying feeling that the whole competition is tainted. It makes every result feel both urgent and somehow hollow at the same time.
Okay, let's talk about what is genuinely exploding today, because Arbeloa has apparently been pointing fingers, and fans are very divided on this. The comment doing the rounds says, Arbeloa clearly points the finger at Mbappé, Asensio, Ceballos, and Carvajal. 4 names. 4.
And that list is interesting, isn't it? Because those are 4 very different situations. Carvajal is injured, so that's presumably about his future or his role. Ceballos is a squad depth question. Asensio is a young player whose development path is unclear. And Mbappé, well, that one has a whole season's worth of narrative behind it.
The Mbappé is surplus to requirements crowd is feeling very vindicated right now. We've had fans saying for weeks that Madrid know what's happening with Mbappé. Today, someone just put it bluntly, Madrid knows what's going on, Mbappé is unnecessary. No elaboration, just a statement of fact as far as they're concerned.
What strikes me is the other comment about Arbeloa, the one about him being asked if he'd want Mourinho as coach, and apparently not shutting it down properly. The fan says, this poor man is desperate for it all to end. That's a brutal read on Arbeloa's body language, but it's what fans are picking up on.
We talked about the Mourinho-Zidane debate 2 days ago, but this is a new angle. Fans watching Arbeloa in press conferences and reading defeat into his posture. And then there's the other fan who says, what composure from Álvaro Arbeloa, everything he's staying quiet about. So you've got 2 completely opposite reads. One camp sees a broken man, the other sees quiet dignity.
That split tells you everything about where the fan base is with Arbeloa right now. He's become a kind of Rorschach test. People project onto him whatever they already believe about this season. If you think the season is a disaster, you see a man counting down the days. If you think he's been dealt an impossible hand, you see someone holding it together with grace.
And that quote about him staying quiet, there's something there. Because this season has had so much going on. the Champions League exit, the Mbappé situation, the referee stuff. If Arbeloa knows things he's not saying publicly, that silence could be either professional restraint or something else entirely.
The fans love a mystery, Tio. What does Arbeloa know is genuinely a thread that could run for weeks. But tonight it becomes very simple. Madrid play, Arbeloa picks the team, and the fans will judge the result.
And then there's the Valverde thing, which is a bit cryptic, but fans are bringing it up. Someone mentions Valverde going to the parking lot and people making things up. I don't know exactly what incident this refers to, but the fans clearly do. And the energy is, leave Valverde alone. They're inventing stories about him.
Valverde has had a strange season narratively. He's been one of the more consistent performers, scored against Alaves, was solid in the Betis draw. But fans feel like the media narrative around him doesn't reflect what they see on the pitch. There's a protectiveness there.
And the Carvajal situation, there was a medical report dropped today. Fans in the comments are already saying goodbye. Thank you for everything, Carvajal. Now Real Madrid needs to start a new chapter without you. That's a goodbye message, not a get well message. The emotional tone has shifted from comeback to this might be it.
That's the quiet grief running underneath all the noise today. The corruption debates, the Arbeloa drama, the Mbappé speculation. And then, underneath it all, fans quietly processing that one of the great servants of this club might genuinely be at the end of his road. It's a lot of emotional weight for one match day.
Venga, tonight is Espanyol away. Madrid need this. The fans are frustrated, they're angry at the system, they've got internal debates raging, but at 9 p.m., or whenever that whistle goes, they're all going to be watching. That much hasn't changed.
And we will have everything. Every emotion, every reaction, every scorching hot take, right here tomorrow morning. Whatever happens tonight in Espanyol, Ruido Blanco will be your first stop for the fan verdict. Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid, Tio. See you tomorrow with the full post-match chaos. Don't go anywhere.